In the midst of World War II, while battles raged across Europe, a different kind of mission unfolded behind the front lines. This mission wasn't fought with guns, but with letters. Thousands of them. At its heart were the women of the 688th Central Postal Directory Battalion, known as the 6888, an all-black female unit tasked with solving one of the military's greatest logistical crises, the massive backlog of undelivered mail. The 6888 was a groundbreaking unit, the first and only African-American women's Army Corps to serve overseas during World War II. Led by Major Charity Adams, these women were a part of a racially segregated military that often doubted their abilities. But the mission they were given was vital to the morale of the American soldiers, clearing a mail backlog that had grown to over 17 million pieces, clogging warehouses across Europe. For soldiers on the front lines, letters were the only connection to home. Without them, morale sank. The Army needed this mail delivered, but the task seemed impossible. Enter the women of the 6888. Nearly 850 strong, these women sailed across the Atlantic to Birmingham, England in early 1945. Faced with freezing temperatures, poor living conditions, and the weight of racial discrimination, they set to work. The women of the 6888 were given a nearly impossible task. They arrived to find warehouses filled floor to ceiling with undelivered mail. But instead of backing down, they organized themselves with military precision, creating an efficient system for sorting and delivering letters. They worked around the clock, often 12-hour shifts, to make sure the soldiers got their mail. Despite the obstacles, the women worked tirelessly. They created a system to track down the correct recipients, even when the names were misspelled or incomplete. In just 3 months, they cleared the 6-month backlog in Birmingham. Their success was so remarkable, they were sent to Rouen, France, to tackle another mail crisis. Major Charity Adams, the highest-ranking black woman in the Army at the time, led the battalion with discipline and determination. Under her leadership, the 6888 exceeded all expectations, delivering 65,000 pieces of mail per day and keeping soldiers connected with their loved ones. The women of the 6888 didn't carry weapons into battle, but their contributions were no less significant. By restoring hope and lifting the spirits of the soldiers through something as simple as a letter, they played an essential role in the Allied victory. Yet, when they returned home, their service went largely unrecognized. The women faced the same racial segregation and discrimination that they had left behind. Their accomplishments largely forgotten by history. It took decades for the 6888 to receive recognition that they deserved. These women were trailblazers, not only for the work during the war, but for breaking down racial and gender barriers within the military. In 2022, more than 75 years after their service, the women of the 6888 were finally awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, one of the highest civilian honors in the United States. Their legacy is a reminder of the critical, often unsung role black women played during World War II, and their story continues to inspire generations. The story of the 6888 is one of resilience, courage, dedication. Against incredible odds, these women accomplished what many thought was impossible, proving that they was as vital to the war effort as any soldier on the battlefield. Their contributions will never be forgotten. The women of the 6888, unsung heroes of World War II.